Hello everybody, Vilisink back again, and as you all know, Raid Shadow Legends. Now, this weekend, because I like these champions, I think this is actually really quite cool. Weekend summoning party, see if this loads right up, or if it's laggy. Come on, Raid, fix your game, there we go. So, as you can see, Countess Lix and Astralon are part of an event. Now, it starts on Friday, it will end on Monday, so 3rd to the 6th. Doubling our chances of receiving legendary champions from sacred shards. So that goes all weekend. Friday to Monday, it's a double chance from sacred shards. Now that's good, but it gets a lot better. So from 8 o'clock Saturday morning, the day after, you have a 10x chance of summoning Countess Lix from sacred shards. Countess Lix is quite cool. A lot of people have her. There was a previous event, I believe it was 150 ancient shards, which basically made it a paywall. Ain't nobody free to play low spend that's saving up their shards going to have a spare 150, but nonetheless, nice champion. Now, that's good news. So 2x plus a 10x for Countess Lix. So let's get to Sunday. Still part of a 2x for Sacred Shards, but there's also a 10x to summon Astralon from Sacred Shards. So, quick look at how it works. The chances of summoning legendary champions from Sacreds are doubled, as we know. And obviously, Ancient Voids are normal. If you summon a legendary champion from a Sacred Shard, between the times allocated, you will have 10x chance of getting either Countess Lix or Astralon, depending on the date. So, for instance, if you summon on Saturday, 10x chance to get Countess Lix. If you summon Sunday, 10x chance to get Astralon. Compared to other champions on the dates mentioned above. So because I like both these champions, I think they're both really cool. I did not do the fusion, and I couldn't do the event because the event, I don't just have 150 shards lying around. I can't just pull money out of nowhere. But this is Astralon with his like toe that kind of angle curves in a little bit. Nice design, nice swords, nice wings. As always, they have a department that create these champions, and they do a better job of doing that than the other people do running the game. And that's part of why we like this game. It's the details, it's the graphics, it's the character design. He looks badass, he is badass. So he's a legendary attack champion. Hellbinder attacks one enemy twice. 30% chance, £50 you book it. Can also book some extra damage. Placing 60% decreased defense for 2 turns. Countess Lix will team up and join the attack if they are on the same team, but she will use her A1 skill. So you'll get 2 hits from Astralon and you will get Countess Lix attacking at the same time, which is always good, more damage, more synergy. Countess Lix will not team up on this attack if this skill is used when counter-attacking. So if Astralon just counter-attacks, I think, so will not team up on this attack if this skill is used when counter-attacking or when teaming up to attack. Okay, for some reason my head's just kind of fried, and that makes no sense. So let's stick to the important part. Countess Lix, if she's on the same team, will attack with her A1, which is always nice. Divine Imminence, which is really, really, really good. I mean, to ignore increased defense, strengthen, and ally protection could potentially be a meta changer. If we have more champions like this, then increased defense, strength, and buffs, they're basically null and void, and they mean nothing. So this is a great move. Also, it revives a random ally with 40% HP, gives them a shield equal to 20% of their max HP for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. So it's kind of like Ultan and a few other champions. If you kill someone with an attack, you will revive an ally. Okay, you could revive Countess Lix, you could revive anybody. That's a very strong part of this move. Also places a shield buff on this champion equal to 20% of their max HP for 2 turns if it kills an enemy. So you revive someone, they get a shield if it kills someone, and also Astralon gets a shield himself. But the best part of this is ignores increased defense, strength, and ally protection. So any champion that's defense based, increased defense is a very strong buff. Strengthen is actually really good too. One of the best buffs in the game. Ally protection can really help your team. Astralon comes in and he ignores it with his A2. Light of Sanctity removes all buffs from targets under Veil or Perfect Veil buffs. Then places a 25% weaken debuff on enemies who have Veil or Perfect Veil buffs removed, then attacks them. So, removes all buffs from targets. So if they're under Veil or Perfect Veil, they get a weaken. A chance to place a stun on all enemies for 1 turn. Now this is also really nice if you forget the Veil part, because they have to be under a Veil, Perfect Veil, so that's kind of, they have to have that buff, otherwise that's just pointless. The most important part of this kit, the most important part of this A3 is it's a 4 turn cooldown and it's an irresistible stun pretty much. It goes to 100% chance to stun on all enemies for a turn. 100% chance stun on all enemies. When booked is really nice. Emiscerate fills this champion's turn meter by 3% every time an ally is hit, which is nice enough. Decreases incoming damage by 25% if the attacker's attack is lower than the champion's, and it will be. Astralon has high base attack, so for sure the person that attacks you will have lower attack. In general, Astralon as a champion has 100% chance to stun. If there's Veil and Perfect Veil, he has some more parts of his kit, but the stun is basically what we're looking at here. Divine Imminence is, you kill somebody, you can revive him with 40% HP, they get a shield, he gets a shield also. But let's forget about that for a second. Let's just look at the attacks when enemy ignores increased defense, strengthen, and ally protection buffs. That is sick, that's so strong. Hellbinder, you'll attack one enemy twice. And if Countess Lix is on the same team, she'll attack as well. But if Astralon counterattacks after being hit, then Countess Lix will not join. Still, really strong. He's just a badass looking champion. Nice passive as well. Gaining turn meter can only help. So let's quickly go to the other champion and check her kit. So we have 100% chance to stun. Just forgets buffs like crazy. Does multiple hits. Countess Lix, look at the design, it is badass. It's like Rotos and Sifi, they were just made to be together. They're extremely similar in design, different colours, just different aspects of the build, but definitely the same base design, just altered. So that's nice, they do look similar. She has attacks when enemy twice, chance to place 25% weaken. So if she attacks with Astralon, she has a chance to put up weaken debuff, which is good. That's 25% extra damage. Mire of Misery, attacks all enemies 3 times. Just like, I think that says enough. Each hit 100% chance when you book it of placing decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Each hit also has a 75% chance when you book it 100 of decreasing the enemy's turn meter by 10%. Decreased speed, reduction of turn meter. I really like this. Actually, I'm a big fan of the decreased speed debuff. Doesn't matter if you're in Doom Tower or in Dungeons or Arena, the decreased speed can be really powerful. Time Dilation AoE. Again, 100% chance when you book it and it'll go to a 5-turn cooldown. She will place block active skills for 2 turns. Also decreases the cooldowns of all ally skills except hers by 1 turn. So she helps the team with their cooldowns. And AoE attacks block active skills. So if your skills are active, not on cooldown, I'm sure that's kind of what that means. It's also really nice that she'll help her teammates with a reduction in their cooldowns. 5 turns is quite long, but she is really nice, especially teamed with Astralon. I know I'm not making it sound too great, but believe me, if you have Astralon and Countess Lix, you're just like Rotos and Sifi. They're just made for each other. They're absolutely crazy. So unredeemed passive, which is basically after every turn, removes 1 random debuff from Astralon and this champion. Only available if he's on the same team. So if you have Astralon, on top of all the things she does with Astralon's kit, and what he does with hers, etc., she's basically giving him a cleanse of 1 debuff. Could be decreased defense, he may be stunned, whatever, he could be poisoned, it could be decreased speed. Start of the turn, a mini cleanse is always really good, especially in arena when you're trying to land your debuffs before you set up a champion to take their turn. Fills this champion's turn rate by 5% each time an ally receives a debuff. So Channel will also quite nice. She'll be removing debuffs, so every time she removes one, she'll get effectively a turn meter increase. I mean, need I say more? Countess Lix. So this weekend, guys, if you have shards saved up, I mean, if you have like just a couple of shards, it's maybe not worth your time, because you know what 10x's can be like. But if you have the opportunity, now if you have Astralon, for instance, it's a really good idea. If you have Astralon, pull it on. Come on, load up. If you have Astralon, it's maybe worth pulling for Countess Lix, because you can get both on the same team. You're going to get trust me, you're going to get an amazing combo of champions. I've seen them in arena, I've fought them in arena, and they work really well. Likewise, if you have Countess Lix, you should maybe consider pulling for Astralon. But remember, guys, they're available only on certain days. Saturday, Countess Lix; Sunday, Astralon. Meanwhile, the whole weekend you also have a 2x chance, so every other champion potentially you may get. They're doubling the chances to get. If you have 1 or 2 shards, maybe 3 shards, I wouldn't do it. I would save up for something else. 10x's can be extremely deceiving. I'm not going to pull for this one. It sounds really nice. If I had like 10, 11, 12 shards pulled up, saved up, then that's a different story. Then there's potential to get something. But 10x's are they're a bit of a con in a way. They look really good. You think, oh, yay, we're going to get a champion. And you're going to get a pile of epics, or you're going to get like a spare based office, or like your 6th Nethril or something. But nonetheless, I mean, saying that, it is a 2x, so I wouldn't necessarily pull for Lix and Astralon hoping to get them. But if you've got some shards, you can always pull just for the fact you have double chances of receiving a Lego champion. It is worth it. So I'll leave the decision part up to you. I mean, they're both good champions. If you don't have a lot of shards, I wouldn't do it. I would pull, if you're going to pull, I would pull in general just for the 2x. And if you receive either of them on the day you pull, that's nice. If you're pulling just for the 2x, if you're really early, hell, it might be a good idea. But I would just be careful. 10x's, Plarium are really good. Plarium made a business out of 10x's. Like 10x Chris, 10x Sifi. Back in the days, 10x Skull Crusher, Skull Crown. 10x this, 10x that, 10x Brachus. So be careful. I mean, the 2x is nice, but be very careful if you're pulling for Countess Lix and Astralon. Make sure you have over 10 shards at least. It has to be worth your while. But nonetheless, guys, we have an event this weekend. The pulling part, as always, I'll leave up to you. They are good champions. They are very good. If you have Astralon, that's probably the only reason that you would want to pull for Countess Lix. Or if you have Lix and you never did the fusion, you may want to then pull for Astralon. Personally, your better chances are on Friday. If you do want to pull, just go with the 2x rates. The 10x is deceiving. You're probably not going to get anything. But as always, treat your account like your account. Evolve your account as you want it to evolve, and run it as you want it run. But with that being said, guys, thanks for watching. This is just me blabbing on about the event this weekend. It's good, but it's also a bit of a sucker event. So be careful if you do pull. Stay safe, keep raiding, and I will see you next time.